Once upon a time, there was a little house. And all round the house was a beautiful garden. And down at the bottom of the garden was a place where the man who worked in the garden left his things while he went into the house to have his dinner. One day, when he'd gone into the house to have his dinner, he left behind his scarf and 2 handkerchiefs pegged on a line to dry. And there were the flower pots as usual. 2 little ones, 2 middle-sized ones. Oh, yes, and an old hat lying on the ground. And there were the 2 great big flower pots. And just behind was a little weed. And there they all were, lying quietly in the warm sunshine. The little weed looked all about her, and when she saw that everything was quiet, she knocked gently on one of the big flower pots. And out of the flower pot came a little flower pot man. Then the little weed knocked gently on the other flower pot. And out came the other flower pot man. They leaned over the edge of their flower pots and said hello to each other.
Hello, Pip.
Hello, Pip.
Then they said hello to the little weed.
Hello, Pip.
Hello, Pip.
And they jumped out of their flower pots.
Oh.
Oh.
Then they looked round for something to play with.
Oh.
Oh.
There wasn't anything but the old hat the man had left in the garden.
Oh, odd hop.
Odd hop.
And they wondered what they could do with it.
Oh, what a cuddle tulip.
Odd hop, nop.
Then suddenly one of them said, in his flower pot way of talking, I know. Let's fill it with water.
Oh, nop. Lord, flip, whip, flip. Oh.
Tulip, Pip.
The other one thought it was a very good idea, because then they could have a bath.
Oh, another cuddle hopper splupperbush.
Splupperbush.
But first, one of them would have to fetch some water.
Oh, flip.
All up.
So the first flower pot man hurried off to get some water, and the other one went on playing with the hat.
Oh.
First he looked inside to see if there was enough room to get in. Then he looked to see if there were any holes in the hat for the water to run out.
Moo.
But there weren't any holes, and he was getting tired of waiting. So he called out to his friend to hurry up.
Hurry up.
All up, cop up.
And in came the first flower pot man with a big can of water, all ready to fill up the bath.
Oh, swoosh.
Oh, flip.
Swoosh.
Oh, flip.
Oh, swoosh.
Oh, flip. Oh.
Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Oh, swoosh.
While he was putting the water in, the second flower pot man kept talking to his friend and telling him he'd always wanted to have a bath.
Oh, water hopper splupperbush.
Splupperbush. Oh, plush.
Oh, flip. Oh.
When there was enough water, the second flower pot man said, in his flower pot way of talking, now I can have a bath, but I don't want to get my boots wet.
Another cob hopper splupperbush.
No, mother gotta feel about.
The first flower pot man wanted to have a bath too, but he said, you get in first while I put the can away.
All clip up will clapper up.
Now everything was ready. And the flower pot man got in very carefully. There he was, sitting in the bath with his feet sticking out. Then he thought he ought to have more water.
Plip, plip.
And while his friend was fetching more water, he started singing in his bath.
Splishy washy wash, splashy washy wash, splashy wash wash, plip. Rub-a-dub-dub, rub-a-lub-lub, splishy wash wash, plip. Splashy wash wash, splashy wash wash, splashy wash wash wash. Splishy wash wash, washy wash wash, rub-a-dub-dub, plip.
Soon the first flower pot man came back with the can and began pouring the water into the bath.
Splush.
And the second flower pot man called out, "Mind my boots." He was very proud of his boots, and he didn't want to get them wet. Then he went on singing while his friend put the can away.
Splashy washy washy, splashy washy wash, washy wash wash, plip. Rub-a-lub-a-lub, rub-a-lub-a-lub, splish wash wash, plip.
When the first flower pot man came back, he wanted to get in. It was his turn now.
Oh, club up. You're my top.
The second flower pot man didn't want to get out. He pretended he hadn't finished washing.
Oh, yup, yup, hop. Oh, yup, yup, hop.
The other one told him he wasn't going to wait any longer. He must come out.
Club up.
While they were arguing, they tipped the hat over, spilt the water, and they both got very wet.
Do plop me.
I plopped up.
And look, his boots were wet.
The hop.
The other flower pot man's boots were wet too.
Oh, blop up top.
How were they to get dry? Then the first flower pot man had an idea, and he pointed to the washing that was drying on the line.
Oh, what a lot of life.
What a life.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
And they started tugging at the handkerchiefs.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
And when they got them down, they began to dry their boots.
Wop, 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 wep, bloop.
Wop, 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 bloop. Oh.
But their boots were still wet, so they tried to think of something else. And one of them called out, "I know. Let's dry on the line like the washing."
Oh, I'm up. I'd lie, blah, blah.
What a life.
So they went over to the scarf hanging up to dry on the line, and they jumped in.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh.
And while they were swinging their legs to dry, they started singing all over again.
Splush, push, 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 push.
Rub-a-lub-a-lub, rub-a-lub-a-lub, rub-a-lub-lub, plip. Rub-a-lub-lub, squish, whoosh, whoosh, squishy, whoosh, whoosh, plip.
Rub-a-lub-lub, spush, whoosh, whoosh, rub-a-lub-lub, flub. Ho-ho. Ho-ho. Ho-ho.
After a while, one of them slipped off and crept away. And what do you think he did? He'd undone the end of the clothesline. All this time, the little weed had been watching, and she knew which of the flower pot men had untied the clothesline. Now listen, because the little weed is going to ask a question.
Was it Bill or was it Ben made his friend fall down just then? Which of those two flower pot men? Was it Bill or was it Ben?
Do you know? You listen again.
Was it Bill or was it Ben made his friend fall down just then? Which of those two flower pot men? Was it Bill or was it Ben?
Was it Bill or was it Ben? It was Bill. It was Bill. Bad little Bill.
Ba-dip-op-dip.
There they both were, looking round at all the things they'd been playing with. They thought the garden looked very untidy,
Oh, idle, toddle.
Idle-oddle-toddle.
and perhaps they'd better hang up the clothesline again.
Doddle-huddle-up-lipe.
Up.
So one of them held it up, and the other one went off to tie it up.
Oh, 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 I flopped up. Oh,
They shook the scarf
oh,
to get the mud off,
Oh,
oh, oh,
and then they went over to the hat to see if it was getting dry.
oh, oh, fuddle-oh-hop.
follow hop.
Oh, hop. Oh, it'll drop.
It'll drop.
It'll drop.
Then they both got in
Up.
Up, up,
and started rocking up and down.
Deep. Top. Muddy little top.
dip, top, muddy little top.
Deep. Top. Muddy little top.
Dip, top, muddy little top.
Deep. Top. Muddy little top.
Dip, top, muddy little top.
Deep.
They would have gone on playing, but they heard little Weed calling.
Muddy little top. Oh,
Oh.
She was telling them that the man who does the garden had finished his dinner, and she heard him coming down the garden path. So they hurried back and jumped into their flower pots again.
oh,
Then they said goodbye to each other.
Bow up.
bob,
Bow up.
bob,
Bow up.
bob,
Then they said goodbye to the little Weed.
Bow up. Dip up. Weep. Weep.
bob, dip up, weep.
Weep.
The little Weed stayed behind the flower pots and went fast asleep. And there they were in the warm sunshine. I expect the man who worked in the garden thought the wind had blown the handkerchiefs down. Nobody knew about the flower pot men. Only you saw them playing. And the little Weed. And I think the little house knew something about it. Don't you?
Goodbye, Bill. Goodbye, Ben. Bill and Ben, Bill and Ben, flower pot men. Goodbye, Bill. Goodbye, Ben. Bill and Ben, Bill and